how would y'all feel right now if you heard the song "Make It Rain" come on the radio?
I'd be hating like, I can't make nothing rain.
Yeah. I mean,
I can't even
for
turn
me,
a sprinkler on.
I look at it like just like I talk about the "I'm So Paid" track all the time. You know, like it's fantasy. You know what I mean? And it allows me the opportunity to escape the fact that I'm broke as like wow, I'm super broke right now. Like you know, I can kind of like close my eyes for 3 minutes or 4 minutes, however long that song lasts, and sort of when the song's made, right? Like "I'll Make It Rain" or "I'm So Paid," you kind of feel that excitement. You feel what it feels like to be that rich, but ultimately that song ends, and I gotta open my eyes. You know?
It's true. The song ends, and yeah, you would escape into the fantasy, but when you face the reality of not only yourself and what's kind of going on in the world right now, not even just this country. For example, I have a song right now. It's off my 7 Pounds mixtape, in which I address getting my money back from artists, because I'm a fan first and foremost. But when I listen to music that's saying I'm gonna make it rain, and I just gave you some of my money to buy your CD, and yes, I still buy CDs. But I'm hearing that you're just gonna piss away my dough, and I'm working overtime or I'm working 2 jobs. You know what I'm saying, to even be able to afford your CD on top of just my basic living expenses.
I like that attitude. I spent $18 on this CD, and you're just gonna throw that at some naked woman?
Yeah.
Although she might be very nice.
Some of the hip hop or some of the rap, some of the music that you hear right now, they're more so still trying to ride a wave from when everything was like really all good. Back in the early 90s, late 90s, 90s in general, early 2000s, you know, you had people that really were prospering. They were really well financially, where they could be able to afford those type of luxuries, going on vacation, etc., etc. But the music does still kind of parallel life, because if you notice where we're at now, you have a lower class that's been struggling for years. You have a middle class that's trying to put things together in order to elevate themselves. And then you have the upper class that's just so far ahead of everybody that they just look down. Like, for everyone in this classroom, if we were an AIG employee and we got a $27 billion or $27 million bonus, we'd be thinking that's great. To them, it's nothing. It's nothing. But that kind of parallels the music too, because you have some people who actually really got it. 50 Cent, Jay-Z, Eminem, Nelly, Diddy. You know, these are people, some of the people who really had it. Then you have everybody that's trying to catch up to the level, but they're just gonna fake it till they make it. No, I know I got it like you. No, you don't. No, you don't.
As consumers, we're all critics. That's the first thing we do. We see a movie, we see a commercial, we see, even anybody watch sports, we all can tell the coach how to do a better player, tell the player how to play better. Even if we look at politicians, you know, we want them to be everything that they say they're gonna be. So behind closed doors, you better be exactly what you are, or if not, you're gonna get crucified. And when it comes to music, I guess from a consumer's point of view, they don't really care about what themselves are doing. They want to be entertained in a certain manner that's going to stimulate them for whatever feeling that they have. If they are in public, Chuck D, Mr. Righteous, but behind closed doors, they need bitches and hoes for whatever, but they're the consumer, so they need something that's going to stimulate that mind for that set time. Or now they need something that's going to be for the club that's going to stimulate the mind for that set. As the artist, I'm providing myself, whatever it is that I'm expressing to the world. The consumer is just going to take it in. So when it comes to, because I know there's certain things that I listen to as a consumer that doesn't fit everything that I represent, that doesn't fit everything that I uphold, but it's some things that's entertaining to that part of me. It doesn't mean that I'm a hypocrite. That doesn't mean I'm being a person who contradicts themselves in my actions. It might just be a song where somebody is talking about something that I have absolutely no attachment to, but I like the way it sounds. I like the way that it comes across. But as soon as it's over, it's not like something I'm gonna go repeat on repeat. Like, I'm not finna go, I hear a song about a chick with a big ass, I'm finna go find the first one I see and grab it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's no contradiction. It's just realism. Where you want to live in reality in certain places, or you stay in reality all the time. A lot of times we go behind our closed doors to escape. You know, that's where we listen to our music and we can go into different worlds. But that doesn't mean when we go out into the world, this is what we want to portray or represent.
If you're just relying on the radio, if you're just relying on cable TV, if you're just relying on some of the mixtapes that just float around, you're not gonna get it. Or you're gonna come across it, and just because you've only heard that name once, twice, it's probably just not registering you. And I will say this, a female will be the greatest MC in the game because their subject matter and what they can cover trumps anything a male can say to her.
Yo, Jean Grey could eat dudes. Eat dudes. There's always been people talking about real stuff in hip hop. It's just there's a time there's a time that it wasn't getting really pushed.
Yeah, it hasn't disappeared. It never just like, basically what happened was, it was like 99 or 2000, 98, 99, I think. It was like a big flood of money into hip hop. It went from like alternative rock, and a lot of the money got pushed into hip hop, and that's when Bling Bling became like the biggest thing at the time. So it turned from where a lot of the stuff that you've seen like every day on shows, on the radio, was more conscious music, to where that now that these record labels have found that, this rock that these boy bands that we're pushing isn't really selling as much as we would like them to. We're gonna push all our money into these hip hop artists, and that made it sell. And when the money got put into it, that's when the materialism came and got really, really, really big, because now we're not selling the art no more. We're just selling the material side. So everybody is talking about materials, even though they may not have them. This is like the term that's been like coined, bling bling, which everybody's attached to. So this is the best way for you to sell. It doesn't mean that those artists didn't exist no more. It's that the record labels were finding that, okay, we can just sell this like hotcakes to everybody. We can, put it in rotation 30 times a day. MTV, BET, VH1. This is what we want to sell. And the rest of the artists just kind of got, pushed to the side as far as being right in your face. They're still there. They're still around because they built a name for themselves before the change, before that it became nothing but materialism. If they would try to come out now, and they're great artists, if you heard of them now, they would be in that category where people are like, well, good hip hop isn't around, or real hip hop doesn't exist. But they would be in that group. But we heard of them before it became nothing but materialism. So now we still know who they are. So when they do drop an album, people go and be like, okay, this is quality music. We will, purchase this CD. So it is artists like myself and JC and SB that who do put out quality music. We're just kind of pushed to the side because we're not selling the materialism that people automatically just connecting themselves to.